All right, look, everyone is talking about the recent strikes in Venezuela, and the experts on the news are clutching their pearls. But let us cut through the noise and talk about this from a perspective that actually matters. America first. For too long, the United States has played a polite game while our enemies and competitors played for keeps. Those days are over. We have entered a gloves-off era where we don't ask for permission to protect our bottom line. If a regime sits on the world's largest oil reserves while cozying up to our enemies and threatening the stability of our hemisphere, they aren't just a political problem, they are a direct threat to the American wallet and American security. We didn't go in there to be the world's policeman. We went in to secure the bag and ensure that those resources aren't being used to fund people who hate us. It's about leverage. It's about energy independence, and frankly, it's about taking what is necessary to keep our economy the strongest on earth. When you look at the gloves-off policy, you have to understand that the old rules of international decorum were written for a world that doesn't exist anymore. We aren't interested in nation building or teaching people how to vote. We are interested in results. By neutralizing threats in our own backyard, we're sending a message that the Monroe Doctrine isn't just a historical footnote, it's an active, muscular policy. We are eliminating potential launch pads for hostile intelligence and ensuring that the flow of energy remains under the influence of people who play ball with Washington. If you're a dictator standing in the way of American prosperity, you're not a head of state. You're an obstacle. And as we've seen, obstacles get cleared. So, who is next? If you're looking at the map through the lens of national interest, you have to look at the choke points and the resource hubs. Any nation that thinks they can hold American interests hostage or flip their resources to our adversaries should be looking over their shoulder, whether it's in the Caribbean, parts of Africa where rare earth minerals are being hoarded, or even certain spots in the Middle East that haven't gotten the message yet. The list is based on a simple formula. Does this country benefit the US, and are they a threat? If the answer to the first is potentially and the second is yes, then they are on the radar. We are moving into a period where proactive strikes aren't the last resort, they are a standard tool for maintaining the American standard of living. But here's the real kicker that the mainstream media is afraid to touch. The rest of the world is watching and learning. For decades, the US preached about liberal order while everyone else waited for their turn. Now that we've shown that we're willing to take what we need to survive, and thrive, don't think for a second that China, Russia, or even India won't follow suit. We are entering a new realism. If China decides they need the resources of a neighbor to fuel their billion-person economy, or if Russia decides to formally integrate the resource-rich regions on their border for their own security, they are going to point directly at our playbook. Even India, a rising titan, could decide that their neighborhood needs a resource realignment to ensure their climb to the top isn't interrupted. This is the world we're living in now. It's a world of giants competing for a finite amount of pie. The US strikes in Venezuela weren't just about one country. They were a declaration that the era of American hesitation is dead. We are taking the lead in a world where strength is the only currency that doesn't depreciate. If other countries follow our model and start consolidating their own spheres of influence, the globe is going to look like a collection of regional fortresses. It's aggressive, it's unapologetic, and for the American worker, it's the only way to ensure we stay at the top of the food chain. The gloves are off, the boots are on the ground when they need to be. And the message is clear: America wins or the game doesn't get played.